Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to well, a new episode, a new series that we're doing, looking at Napoleon Total War 3. So we are playing in the Battle of Montebello. The French are starting to form up in the distance. You can see them, and we are playing as the Austrians. Napoleon in the distance, looking to advance into Italy, and we as the Austrians are forming up to form a defence. Our forces seem to be sort of scattered a little bit to the four winds. I think our commander is Feldmarschall Lieutenant O'Reilly. Strange name for an Austrian. Perhaps I'm doing it wrong. So, get these people into some form of formation, if they can, please. And let's see how we get on. You can see we have just an absolutely vast array of units. From sort of spotted, dotted all over the place. I love obviously Napoleon Total War 3 changes a lot of the unit sounds. All the musket sounds are different, so these are some light infantry. These obviously guys can probably do a fair old job of defending this bridge here. I'm not sure, I can't really see much of the French at the moment. They only have some light artillery in the distance. I think the battle itself actually resulted in the French forces arriving with about 8,000 men before rising up the numbers of men they actually had available. I think I've given a random unit a command somewhere because there's some people coming from over here who have formed a line which I didn't quite intend them to do. So, form a line here.
Yeah, sir.
Obviously the graphics have been improved. These people look truly awesome. And the drummer beating away as the Austrians march into position. So I think we have some time to begin to organise our forces. So we have a large number of forces towards the back of the map. I guess we should start to bring some of these guys up to the front lines. It's going to take them a long time to arrive. As you can see, it's like a strategic map laid out the various towns around the place. So let's bring up these troops to the outskirts of the town here. Montebello is ultimately French target, which is I believe where we are here. This is Montebello, however you say it, Montebello, I think it's Italian. So let's move up some of these other men. I believe it's a while before the French get more reinforcements. This is obviously our front line. We've got more cavalrymen here. Obviously there's a bridge here. We could offer some resistance with these sort of light infantry, whatever these guys are. Not sure if they're necessarily light infantry. I guess we should try and form some sort of rank. These guys, oh, they have got bayonets. They can all form square, do guard mode, all the usual stuff. But I'm unsure of when the rest of the French army turns up. I believe we have a sort of set period of time and then they are going to arrive. But how long that is, I don't know. They've taken garrison in a local farmhouse, by the looks of it. Oh no, some French hussars are sort of moving up. Sort of organising themselves. So I guess we should get our units into some form of formation. Oh my god, and a French army has appeared on the distance. Come on people. Bit quicker please. Double time. Form ranks. Okay, we need to start looking at getting the rest of these. These people are all on the march. I don't want to run them because if they run you invariably just get really tired, particularly by the time they've made it all the way to this town over here. So we'll get the artillery on the move. And the rest of these divisions can begin to move up. There are other divisions over this side of the map as well. You see, there's people everywhere when you start to look at it. It's very confusing. So these people can perhaps move up as well. Or should we be looking to do a bit of a different... what are these? Obviously, not unsurprisingly, all the names are in Austrian. Which obviously kind of makes it pretty hard to work out. So Line Battalion 3. Line Battalion 2, so these are almost sort of a bit of a company, I guess. And we've got some light infantry. So I guess these are sort of more the skirmishing type troops. So these guys should be moving up. And they can probably toggle light infantry behaviour once they get. And these are Jaegers. So these want to be moving up as well. Then what have we got here? Grenzer. These may be grenadiers, possibly, or just a form of line infantry. I'm not sure. So let's move these up to the farmhouse. I guess we're going to have to fight this in sort of a multi-stage battle. So we've got So let's move these cannons up here. That should give us a decent line of sight as the French as they advance. So that's worthwhile doing. We've got Austrian cavalry dotted around here, which we can bring into play. We've also got, what have we got down here? Some more units that need to be brought up to the fight. I guess these units are supposed to be playing on this flank, so we'll bring them up here. Get the artillery into play. I guess that's the sort of primary thing to do. All these people should be slowly advancing, but it's going to take them many minutes for them to actually get up and arrive. Even the artillery is going slowly as well. These units are advancing across the river, trying to ford the river. We're going to be getting wet. And the French are starting to get real close now. So what have they got? Some line battalions, as well as their horse. They're moving up some line battalions very quickly. They are rapidly getting themselves into this fight. So I think we want to get some of our light infantry. Let's toggle light infantry behaviour. And get these units up to the front. Probably do the same with the Jaegers. Come on people, get moving. Hop to it. These people are going to occupy this house here. This is going to make our little bit of our first stand. These units probably don't really want to be here. They're probably going to be vastly outnumbered, I suspect. It's a little while before we're going to come into range. I'm not sure what the range on these units is. We don't have any of the range markers anymore like we used to on the sort of the original Napoleon Total War. So the French are sort of forming up, I think, before attacking. They're forming their lines.
We have taken a building, sir.
Oh, and we've occupied a building. So our light infantry are beginning to take up position. I would have thought these French hussars will soon be in range if they're not careful. Our Jaegers are also taking up in position. A bit of dust from where they've been running. We also need to check that these people are slowly streaming in through the gates. We've got other units on some of the foothills, some light dragoons. There is some artillery that could be positioned, probably on somewhere like that, which would probably be a good spot. If you can double time it, that would be good. And then we've got another line battalion, which probably wants to form up in front of the artillery as sort of like a bit of a defence force. Again, I think you're probably going to want to move fairly quickly as well. And then we've got some cavalry, some light dragoons, which can move up in support. That's those companies deployed. What have we got over here? Some artillery, which could probably be deployed where you are, to be honest. And then hopefully this gun over this side has now roughly got into position as well. So let's deploy this guy. Unlimber. These little small, what are they, 3-pounders? They are very small little cannons. They're not going to do a great deal against anything. So the light infantry are engaged. Shots are ringing out against the French hussars, but they're not doing a great deal of damage. I love the updated game sounds. They do sound really cool. I'm not sure what the French hussars are doing, just moving across the front of the battle. People are reloading, trying to get their shots in. And they're advancing against the line infantry. These people, I would have thought, the French are making up sort of various different, God knows what they're doing.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I think the morale is already pretty low on these people. They're already nervous. Opening fires, some people, some horses come across the thing. Those horses didn't like that. So their line's going to go for a reload. The light infantry, I don't think any of these people are quite in range at the moment. These people should be fully reloaded now. So the line infantry are opening fire. Second ranks and third ranks are firing.
Fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Some of the men I've got running obviously towards the back of the map are running out of energy. I don't know if these guys are out in range. They should be able to fire at will. Command them to attack there if they can. I think they're just out of range. So we're being advanced on by some of the French infantry. But our guys are doing quite a good job of laying down a very heavy base of fire. This unit got engaged by some French cavalry, but they actually held firm, which is kind of surprising given how outnumbered they are. You would expect them to struggle a lot more. They've routed some of the French cavalry, at least temporarily. Although these guys have been rear-flanked by some of the enemy cavalry. Well, they were doing a fair good job of driving them off. Keeping up against evasive fire against the French. Oh, some blimey. The smoke is already beginning to get thick here. Guys are all reloading. It's nice that all the ranks are able to fire rather than just the front ranks, so people are able to aim over the shoulders of their comrades. So the first line battalions are sort of engaging these Austrians here. They're holding firm at the moment, although they've got quite a lot of people shooting at them, so they've got quite a lot to deal with. Obviously got the second line here. The Jaegers are engaged with this enemy first line battalion. They're not really taking very many casualties, mostly because these people are sort of a block at the moment. Guys are struggling a bit, but they're holding. They seem to be holding okay. Oh, we've been bayonet charged. Some of the French, although the French are pretty tired already. These guys are confident. We have taken some casualties. This guy's advanced forwards on his own. Second French battalion slams in. Oh, pushed a few of them back. Okay, the line is sort of becoming disarrayed. Guys are trying to fight on. The amount of smoke that's beginning to develop already is just absolutely awesome. The Jaegers are doing absolutely fine against these guys. Neither are particularly getting any great amount of kills.
Our men are running first.
I'm not sure why these aren't returning fire. I'll order them to advance and return fire when possible. So the French guys have broken, not unsurprisingly. They had to face a lot of enemy divisions that they weren't supposed to. So, that's our general, so he should probably get the hell out of there. Well, let's have a look at the situation. I probably haven't really been all that well prepared. So these guys need to rapidly move up to the bridge. We've also got this line here, which is now, looks like it's about engaging. Everyone is going for a reload, so they must have all fired in volley. Presenting. Oh, wow. That was a massive volley there. I love their hats. What awesome hats. So they've got this line here. The light infantry obviously engaged. Hopefully they should be in skirmishing mode. Yeah, I'll toggle skirmishing mode. So if things get a bit tough, hopefully these guys can sort of pull back and get out of here. I just want them to really sort of resist the flanks a little bit initially. These guys are starting to take quite a lot of musket fire. And obviously these guys are in full rout. Back across the bridge. So we've got light infantry holding the bridge at this point. No one occupying any of the houses. We've obviously got our cannons, but they've not really found anyone to shoot at yet, I don't believe. We're obviously still out of range. There are only 3 pounders, so it's perhaps not all that surprising. This guy's, I might as well move up to occupy this little house here. And these two guys are, well, he's advancing. We might as well bring him up to advance as well. And I guess we might as well bring some of the cavalry into play. Or at least advance up to the river line. Oops, select you. Get these people advancing up. We've got guns coming up. These people are all on the advance. There's some more people here who are not currently advancing. I think we get reinforcements sort of throughout the battle,
Men
really.
are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
So let's bring these guys up to sort of the ridge line here. Some of the people have reformed here. No, they're broken again. They don't like that. So these guys are defending the bridge. They're covering the retreat of the rest of our Austrian comrades. We've got some French cavalry coming over the bridge. 12 hussars. They're not coming over the bridge all that quickly. You'd think they're bringing up a bit more speed now. Oh, he got shot in the chest. So we need that brigade to hold while the rest of the army sort of comes up into play. We should have more brigades moving up. Yeah, we've got these guys moving up here. So the rest of the ridge line is obviously heavily engaged over here. These guys are taking some casualties but are holding. The light infantry are doing quite well, but are a bit winded. The Jaegers are doing quite a nice job of firing by volley. caused quite a few casualties into the front of this enemy unit. Alright, it's really getting very smoky down here. You can barely even tell what's going on anymore. All they're being charged. The French seem to be doing this quite a lot, which they just sort of march straight towards the enemy lines and just hit straight into the centre of the lines. Although they are not got that much morale left, they are struggling a little bit. Oh, and they just got a large volley to the chest, which can't have done them any favours. They are beginning to waver. So the rest of these lines are holding okay. The more French are moving up. It looks like we held the bridge for now, which is good. Things went well. These line infantry took only a few casualties. And these guys are shattered as they're completely routing back across the bridge. They're just getting shot to pieces, and they've met with the Austrians, the retreating Austrians, so these guys are sort of reformed a little bit now, which is good. We've got the reinforcements moving up to the ridgeline, and this shattered Austrian company can pull back across the river probably, and to try and reform up with the allies who are now arriving. These guys are starting to get shot in the flank a little bit. The French who charged into them are just routing, which is great, so things are going quite well on that side. Well, obviously we still own the building here. These guys are taking quite a lot of casualties. They're like infantry. I don't know how much ammo they've got left. Yeah, they've got plenty of ammo left. So they should be keeping up a good sort of reasonable base of fire. Yeah, some of them are. You can hear the Jaegers firing away. So the light infantry are behaving as they should. These guys are sort of continuing to fight in a long line battle. This division I think is going to be the first one to break. So these guys reform. Oh, that has got to be a devastating volley there. I don't know what these guys are. Tirailleurs. I guess that might be some form of light infantry. So what have we got over here? We've got some people arriving from somewhere. I don't know what these people are doing. I think we should perhaps advance up with some of the cavalry, at least onto the other side of the river. Could maybe use this to attack part of the French army as it stands. These guys are still taking more casualties, but they are holding actually not too bad. Seem to be holding the lines fairly well. No one is scoring a staggering amount of hits on anyone. Oh, a few kills there from that volley. 171 men. 115. These guys haven't really been attacked yet. What's left of this mini battalion seems to be holding on relatively well. The Jaegers are still fighting away without too many casualties. These guys, I suspect, are about to get rear flanked, which is obviously not such a good thing. The skirmish mode didn't pan out quite so well for them. They have got bayonets, so they'll give it a fair fight, I would have thought. Oh, some of them are still firing a few volleys into them. These guys may end up routing the 2nd French Line Battalion. These people in the centre are beginning to struggle a little bit from the amount of casualties that they're taking. Keeping up a good base of fire though. The French on the flank are obviously doing a reasonable amount of damage. And these people at the river are holding. Obviously we still own the bridge, so apart from that things are looking pretty decent. So perhaps bring this battalion up to here. Sort of a bit of reserve battalion to hold the line as needed. So what else have we got? We've got a battalion on here. So you might as well move up to somewhere along the river line along here in your own time. These people are still marching to the battle. Some of them are still absolutely miles away. Yeah, they've got a lot of walking to do there. And then we've got another line behind the battle here, haven't we? We can unlimber these guns possibly now. Are they going to have a clear shot over the heads of their allies? Maybe. Also got the light dragoons there on the flank to be used if needed. These people seem to actually be holding okay despite the casualties. There's an awful lot of smoke in this battle. Some French battalion is routed there. Even the line infantry are still holding on despite the casualties. And the house is now under attack. Holding on, they're firing through their little peepholes. The Frenchmen as they run. run in front of their shooting range. Oh, there are light dragoons. I wondered who that was then. I wonder how one of them's died. One of them must have got hit by a cannonball or something. A couple of people have died over here, but I'm not quite sure what from. No immediate threats. The Jaegers are still taking casualties. I'm surprised these guys have hung on so long. These guys have ended up engaging the house now, really, more than anything. These guys in the centre still holding, but are wavering, and they're wavering a little bit on the flanks. These guys on the left are okay though, which is obviously good. These guys are taking casualties down to 89 men. They're struggling a little bit. And some casualties from across the river as well. Seem to be causing a fair few. These guys seem to be very accurate. Seem to be causing quite a few casualties. Across the river through the tree lines. I guess the reason they can't hit each other it must be because of the distance, because they are a fairly long way away, I guess, from musket fire. So no one can really hit anything. The rest of that, we look pretty secure at the moment. I'd say things are going pretty well. As long as there aren't any more French reinforcements. I don't know if anyone else is going to turn up at any moment. Waiting for another battalion to make it up to the hill, and then we can advance onto this ridgeline here. And we've got more troops turning up to this ridgeline. So all in all, things look pretty good. Most of the troops are in some sort of rough position. We've got a few more people here. These should probably be formed up into slightly more of sort of an orderly block. Let's try and get sort of a bit more order going on. These cannons really haven't got anything to shoot at because they're kind of out of range. So maybe we should bring these cannons up to a different spot. Maybe we could bring these cannons up to this ridgeline here. That'll give them quite a nice vantage point down across the river. The battle continues. Quite a few casualties going on this unit here. Oh, what a mighty moustache that man has. Okay, let's have a look at the rest of the battle. This line is still holding somehow. They're well below half unit strength now. No, not quite actually. Slight over-exaggeration. But there's been a lot of casualties, but I'm surprised they've held on quite so well. But they do seem to have done. The Austrian light infantry aren't really sure what's going on, I don't think. Oh, they have broken. Not particularly surprising, they've had a bit of a hard time of it. The Jaegers are still holding on. Maybe we should pull the Jaegers back. Let's get these guys back. They're now on their own against quite a lot of Frenchmen. So it would make sense to have a bit of a retreat and to form up a new line sort of off the farmhouse that we now hold. So these guys are rogue routed, they're running away. The line infantry are still holding, amazingly. We're racking up a lot of casualties on this unit here. Who's routing now? Oh, they've gone. 2 of the units have broken. Thankfully, the French don't really seem to have much in the way of cavalry. They had 1 cavalry unit which they lost at the bridge. So that means they can't really press home their advantage and kill all these units as they rout. Although they're taking a lot of casualties. This unit's amazingly holding on. Let's try and reform slightly. So we're facing so all units can shoot. Get in position, get in position. They are wavering though. We can get a volley off at least, that'll be good. Oh, present. Shuffle, shuffle. Got a good volley off there before they got surrounded. So the farmhouse is obviously pretty strong. Although we could begin to look at trying to pull people back a little bit, maybe would be a wise. Oh, these people have gone now as well. They're going to get shot as they retreat. So the rest of the French army is beginning to advance in on the town. I'm not sure what town this is, but on the river. So let's have a look. We've got the rest Austrian light infantry are holding there. Obviously they can cross the river anytime they like. These guys are taking a lot of casualties. They're trying to keep up with basic fire. The Jaegers are still holding without too much trouble against the French infantry here. The Trilliards. These are like the accurate guys. I think some of the French light infantry maybe. I think the French might have quite a few trouble dislodging the people here from this house. But they are now beginning to advance in on the river line. I'm not sure if they're going to try and take the bridge or not. They may well do. I'm not sure if this cannon can yet open fire. He's formed into a block. These guys are going to be sort of our reserves for the moment. Where's that guy going? Not very far. Oh, something's happened to that cannon. Looks like it's been hit by something. Okay, interesting. So I suspect as these guys advance for the bridge, there's going to be a bit of a tough firefight going on here. These guys are struggling. I'm surprised they've kind of held so long, to be honest, given how sort of limited effectiveness they're having in the fight. Guys are obviously trading shots with the enemy 3rd Battalion. Our little general leading from the front with his sword. I love the variety of units you get in this game, like all the different types. Even in the same army, there's the vast differences that you get. So all these guys are routing back across the river, and whether they're going to end up reforming, I do not know. So these guys can form up on the ridge line. These guys, 1 battalion has arrived, the rest of the battalions are on the way. Having a bit of a hard time with the forest by the looks of it. Walking towards the battle. So the battle has advanced on. You can see how many casualties we took here. An awful lot. The battle's still slightly in our favour, so things aren't looking too bad. They look like they're kind of just outflanking this house, to be honest. So maybe it's not the best move. Maybe we'll abandon this house. All out. If they can. Yeah, okay, so everyone's going to get out. Because they're just being ignored, and then they're not really doing anything here. Oh, so the artillery, I forgot about people over here. So, oh god, what's going on? There's our line. So these people need to reform, these light infantry. And the 3rd Battalion can try and form up and make a fight. These people are sort of loosely reformed, our light infantry. So we'll try and bring up the rest of the 3rd Battalion, Line Infantry Battalion, to make a stand. So these cannons are probably still out of range. I'm surprised they can't make a shot against the French over there, maybe? They're only 3 pounders though, so they just have such a limited range. They can't really hit a great deal. So some of our units are starting to reform, maybe? Yeah, so we can use these to sort of... Well, we'll give these a break behind the hill. They can jog behind the hill. Obviously they're very tired. They get behind the hill, that should give them some cover, and they can sort of try and reform. So how goes the battle at the river? Not so well, I would say. Firing a lot of shots. This unit's almost out of ammunition. They're taking quite a lot of casualties, 70. How many people dead? A few people dead from this battalion, but not so many. French are crossing the river now. There's a bit of a battle going on down here. Maybe it's time to bring in some of the Austrian cavalry. So I don't think that these guys are swordsmen, aren't they? Not like a... Yeah, Jägerzu, Bussy, whatever that means. Oh, these are like the classic hussars with their jackets and overcoats. So I think we may... Well, they're starting to push hard on the bridge now. We also own a house there. Although some of the people couldn't fit in by the looks of it. And we've got a backup division here. All the divisions are under attack basically all along the river line. Maybe it's time to consider moving up some more units. These guys are engaged, as are the light infantry, and they've sort of steadied themselves slightly. The cannon is still not contributing really anything. And these guys might as well just get engaged, to be honest. Come on, run them through with your bayonets. I'm not sure they actually even have bayonets. Oh well, gives us something to do. Right, you can attack them. I'm not quite sure what they're doing now. Need to try and form up a bit of a block. Try and keep them together so they hold their morale reasonably well. To sort themselves out. Got a few ranks opening fire there against the French. Right. So they're going to try and hold their own. A much bigger battalion, so they might stand a reasonable chance. So the battle for the river line. I wouldn't like to say how it's going, really. I think these guys are now out of ammunition. Not really a lot they're going to be able to do. other than get involved. I think they maybe should just, yeah. Forwards, attack, charge. Oh dear, casualties already. Some are getting caught in the trees. Oh no, the line is completely breaking up. Oh, they've slowed right down for the trees. But they're getting stuck in. So, the melee fight has broken out. Oh, he stabbed him. He got a kill. So, see how they get on over there. These guys are still busy firing away. Oh, they've been engaged at the bridgehead. They're trying to breach around. Okay, let's bring in the cavalry then. Cavalry forwards. Since the French are now threatening our cavalry, and cavalry don't retreat. Charging, swords drawn, sabres drawn. Oh, into the front of an enemy formation. That's broken them immediately. Oh, that is fantastic. That's shattered that enemy battalion. And the rest of them. It's just completely broken their lines here. With the cavalry hit. So we'll focus on them. The rest of the lines, that means this river bridgehead has actually managed to hold on. I don't know how these guys are getting on. Both sides are sort of struggling a little bit, but considering they have no ammunition, they have nothing else to contribute anyway. This guy's having a bit of a hard time of it. The French have engaged that large battalion there. And obviously these guys, the Jaegers, are having a bit of a shootout. These guys are still holding in their position on there, that side of the river. I need to hold this, otherwise there's a clear through road round behind us. Who's running? No retreat. Oh, these guys here sort of broken out of the valley. Kind of understandable. Some immense amount of smoke now. Right, so they're all broken. So it looks like that's going pretty well. Looks like we're really starting to tip this battle into our favour now. Let's go and have a look in. I want to have a look for another target maybe. We didn't really take very many casualties at all in that. One man died. Now we'll attack that position, that battalion as it retreats. So the rest of the people are keeping up a good base of fire. Looks like this battle is going pretty well all in all so far. Oh, I say as the battalion just completely retreats. So I think it's time to commit some of our reserves maybe. So we'll have these some good solid blocks. Move up to the river line. Come on, get the drums started. Because the French are moving up. Well, perhaps we won't go quite that far down this time. Let's do it like there. We've still got reserves here. These people are obviously recovering a little bit because they had a bit of a hard time of it early in the battle, but they have reformed what's left of them. These guys, where am I going to go with these? We'll perhaps send them over here to go and help out what remains of our Jaegers and all that lot over here. These guys are broken now as well. Large parts of the French army are in retreat. So I'd say things are going pretty well for us. You should be moving at double speed, which they are. These guys aren't going to... Well, they're streaming from the river line. That's not going quite so well for them. So the reserves are coming in and about to form up. These are all fresh units, 3-line battalions, so like a whole company. Of all the funny hat dudes. I don't know exactly what these are. I don't know a lot about the sort of Austro... Well, is it just Austria or is it Austro-Hungary at this point? The Austrian infantry, so I don't really know anything about them. Oh, shot a few people there. So they've moved up and stopped the French advance across the river there, which is obviously a good thing. These guys are trying to advance. Looks like the French had the French general, Lieutenant Gialans, is still at the back. He's not advanced up. Probably a wise decision on his part. These guys are advancing back up again. There's like their sniper infantry. I'm not sure if they're out of ammunition and are looking to do it. We'll form a new block up against this French here. They're still being shot at. The little Austrian divisions are holding out here. Well, I can't imagine these people have all got that much ammunition left. These people have been involved in the fight for a long, long time now. So they seem to be holding okay. The French are trying to breach the river line, but really they're not having a lot of success, not particularly now with these new divisions have been brought into the fight. They're sort of holding fairly well. These guys are still holding, still firing. Obviously they held the bridge line. Yeah, so things are all in all going okay. The cavalry made it through without too many casualties. So that's all going pretty well. We've still got these units in reserve. So things are looking pretty good. It might soon be time to start the advance, to be honest. Start to push the French back out. Obviously, in reality, the Austrians lost this fight. So the French aren't doing a very good job at the moment. So let's think about doing that. Let's move up the Austrian infantry. We shall advance. Start to drive the French off from the field. Austrian cavalry, which are now being able to roam free because the French lines are sort of all broken. Most of the French are in retreat. Well, taking some heavy casualties as this line. I love the little green, strange uniform. I can't imagine whoever designed that really had that much in design taste. It's a bit odd. Though I do like the hats, as I said before. Good hats. And everyone needs good hats. So, yeah, so we're holding this line. These units even reformed, look at here. They've not got any ammunition though, so they're not really a lot of use to me. These units can probably got a good amount of ammunition, which they have. So these can move forward and reform this line at the bridgehead here. See, the reinforcements are now arriving from the rest of the Austrians, which is really starting to rout the remaining French units. The cavalry is arriving to drive these people from the field. I can't imagine these are going to hold particularly well.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Unit is out of ammunition. Don't know why these people of horsemen are just on full retreat. Not sure what happened to them. So, since things are going well, we'll advance these units across. You may ford the river and get involved in the combat. And we might even bring up our general again. Should we bring him up to the sort of the ridge line so we can have a look what's going on? Although we don't want the artillery actually to follow him. We can just wait there. I have no need of you. I want the general to go up and have a look at the combat situation. So the French, there's still some French units on the river line, but not many. They've shattered these people now. It's good. They didn't take really very much in the way of casualties. So we'll bring the cavalry back down behind the barn, where this unit's holding on still. People are giving a fair old base of fire. This is the fresh division that got brought in, so they're doing quite well. These divisions, have they taken much in the way of casualties? Not really. It'll soon be time to advance. I think it is time to advance, to be honest. Let's make it across the river. Hopefully soon these guys will be dealt with. Let's advance these up a little bit to the river line. Start to apply more pressure on these French trilliers. I think these are like the accurate sniper ones, so we want to be getting nice and close to them if we can. So we present and fire on them.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
These guys are going to get some good, well, 2 shots off apparently. Not quite as many as I was intending. So these guys are advancing across the river, the French are retreating in that direction. These guys are still holding on. These guys are probably out of ammunition, are they? They are. Well, they may as well just charge, see if we can rout them. They've got bayonets. These are like our light infantry guys. They look pretty cool. Slightly slow motion for some reason. They charge across the battlefield. The line infantry is also out of ammunition, so these may as well advance as well. Yeah, double time it. There we go, so the charge is en route. These guys are shaken already, they're wavering. This impact may be enough to get them to break. Oh, and this unit as well. Oh, and they've both broken. Excellent. That's what we wanted. Some of our cavalry have got stuck on our own infantry division. Let's get these guys to form up to try and... Well, they're being flanked on both sides. Let's get them to sort of form up and fire at these guys. So, how's it going at the river line? So things are going fairly well here, so let's advance across the river with these divisions as well. We can all get a bit closer to that guy, move up slightly. Guys are obviously crossing the river here. We'll face that way. Double time it to make sure they get in position before the French turn up. Another French division's having a go at the bridge, but it doesn't look like they're... no, they don't like that. This bridge has been a real killing ground for the French. They've lost a lot of horses and men as they've tried to get across this. And the river. A lot of people have died around this river. Although we took quite a lot of casualties on the other side as well. So they've still got a few good strength divisions which are threatening us as we sort of move up. We may have to sort of wheel this one round a little bit. So let's do that slightly. A bit of confusion as the division tries to turn. Obviously with so many men it can be a bit confusing. Maybe the general might need to think about moving back a little bit. It's one of our field marshals. And his little personal bodyguard, I guess. French sort of seem to have reformed. There's some quite good strength. Division is moving up to threaten our divisions here. So these guys are going to have to present and defend themselves. As these guys are, if they've got ammunition, which they have, so they should be able to fire. They're getting lots of shots out there. We really only have to hold the French. We don't actually have to defeat them. So that's fine. These guys can reform up, ready to deal with the French if they attack again. These guys are having a bit of a hard time of it. I think there's supposed to be some form of light infantry. They're being sort of attacked in the back a little bit. Ah, they're broken. Damn. Okay, well, that was one of the last people holding on to the farmhouse, so that's fine. The rest of the battle is ongoing. These guys are facing the wrong way, although not formed up yet. Okay, so now starting to get a bit of fire out. The dressing formation. As well. Yeah, so we're getting some good damage onto them. Looks like we're going to easily win this, easily hold out against these French. Napoleon is not allowed into Italy. We've got some French units gone around behind us. How did he get there? Double time it. First, 3rd Battalion, get them into position. To deal with these French in like the river valley there. Presenting, almost ready. I should aim and shoot, hopefully. Or not, maybe they're too far away. Nope, there we go. Nice volley of fire at the enemy. Okay, so what else have we got? We've got some French retreating down there. That's fine, I'm not too worried about that. We've got some cannons here. Not really anything to shoot at. Obviously, our base, we've got our base down here with a general down here or something like that. That's our main location. All our units are moved up to the front. Fighting on. No one has completely been shattered or anything like that. They're sort of largely holding on to the riverbanks, and all these positions seem to be holding okay. The French, I don't think, have the force left in them now to actually make any serious resistance. Bulk of their units are in retreat. All these horsemen are taking a bit of some shots to attack these. I don't think these guys have got any ammunition left, have they? No, they have. So let's reform these guys. To get them facing. These guys don't have any ammunition left, so these are just going to have to charge. Although they've got his bayonets. I'll let them actually run at the enemy rather than walk towards them. Our general, our battalion commander still lives. Ooh, they are charging. The French are holding. Apparently it descends into absolute chaos. Hopefully the French are out. They're broken already. Yeah, French are routed. They're good, these little men, for bayonet charging. I must admit, they seem to hold their ground pretty well. And these horses have driven off these enemy people as well. Obviously very good. We could look at using these horses to attack the French artillery that's back at their base. Well, let's look at doing that. Let's move those guys up. Oh, these guys obviously need to attack again. Bayonet charge again. These guys are wavering already, so these will easily break, I think, in the wrath of our bayonet charge. So over here, how are things looking? These two are engaging each other. We seem to be winning that engagement, I think. We seem to be causing more casualties on them than they are on us. These guys can advance a little bit. Over here, how are we looking? I can see through all the smoke. So the French have still got some relatively high strength units remaining. I think we probably better pull back our general, actually. So what have we got here? Okay, we've got some people who've got a little bit of strength remaining. Have these got some ammunition? Yes, they have. So let's move these two up to hold this ridge line. Let's get them to try and reform into some form of line. Obviously we still hold the bridge and we hold this flank here, so that's not a problem for us. It looks like we're beginning to rout the most of the French from the field. So their main sort of holdout zone is this centre line here. So let's start to bring these people to flank round to lay more support. They can move up quickly. Double time it meant. So the 3rd support battalion. Oh, these are different companies, I think. Oh, that's the 2nd battalion. No, this is the 3rd battalion. It's got the French trilliers, like the French sharpshooters. But they're weathering a lot of fire to advance through this lot, so I don't think they're really going to have a lot of luck. Just too many shots kicking around for them to have any success there. These guys are just chasing them from the field. The horse are moving on to try and get back down to the French artillery. And these guys are moving up to help assist. These guys are going to push into the French in the main valley here. Once we've won this engagement, that is pretty much it. We have won the battle. Let's get these guys into position. They're sort of milling around a bit. They're not a very orderly advance. This is a remnants of a separate company. I'm not sure that the 28th company is gone. Obviously got split up somehow. So these guys are roughly in position. So let's get these guys advancing down to the river line. Commit them. I think this will probably be enough to break the rest of these French. Oh, they're broken anyway, even at the sight of them starting to march down the hill. It's just too much. And that is pretty much the end of that battle. That went very well for us. We'll get those cavalry to advance on the French artillery if they feel like it. These light infantry are still chasing off the French infantry who are in full retreat. Basically none of the other divisions are really remaining. This division is holding out, but I think we might as well fix bayonets and go for the charge. Obscured by a tree. I've seen some form of vineyard. Should be able to rout this unit without too much trouble. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different to some of my other Total War videos I've been doing. Charge! Oh no, we didn't like that very much. And now they've turned on us. Okay. Got to deal with these guys. Quickly move up 2 more divisions. The 3rd. We're really going to finish these people off. I don't have anything on this. Oh, we've got a couple of reserve divisions on the back of this hill. These are the ones that some of the original frontline units that got absolutely hammered but managed to reform. So they're still active. Not got a lot of ammunition amongst them though. The French are getting bogged down in the river there anyway. But yeah, no, as I was saying, I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of video. This is a really awesome mod. This one, obviously, it has limitations in the sense that I'm currently playing against the AI, who are sort of a bit limited in their control ability. I'm going to try and organise some online matches so we can have sort of a bit of a better fight. But I think it's really awesome how these things play out. I love the graphics, I love the sounds, I love all the different sort of wide variety of units that we have. And there we go, they've realised they're surrounded and they're completely broken now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Yes, the Battle of Montebello, something like that. It's supposed to be this town is the official place where the battle is named after. So I hope you've.
General, sir.
Oh, we've killed the. Oh, we'll kill Lieutenant General Lanz is now dead anyway. They really are doomed. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give the video a like and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you like to see more of this type of thing? If so, I'm more than happy to do this sort of thing more often. I really enjoy it. I also might have a look at the 1212 AD mod for Total War Attila, which is like a similar sort of thing, but obviously more medieval. So yes, please subscribe to the channel. We've got lots more content like this coming. Obviously, I also do a lot more Total War Arena videos as well. I don't know if that's some of the people who play the old Total War games don't really know about Total War Arena yet. It's sort of like Total War Arena, but Total War games, but online. So yes, thanks for watching, guys. We'll have more of these to come. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you on the next episode.